What's up, baby boys, baby girls, and babies in between? It's your boy Dick Whetti here, and we're talking about the best mono-colored card in the new Lord of the Rings set for each color. Let's get into this. So, for white, we have Gandalf the White, 3 white legendary creature avatar wizard with flash. You may cast legendary spells and artifact spells as though they had flash. If a legendary permanent or an artifact entering or leaving the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Gandalf will be a great commander for mono white artifact decks or just mono white legendary tribal. Being able to do everything at flash speed is not something that's really known in white, so this is really a barrier breaker. Being a big body as a 4/5 protects him from a lot of kill shots, maybe like shocks or lightning bolts. Don't really see too much of that, but regardless, being able to flash him out on the opponent right before your turn comes out, flash them out, and then you can possibly flash in some artifacts or some legendary creatures, maybe like Thalia or something. Get a little bit of stacks going. White's favorite thing to do. It's beautiful. Love to see it. Gandalf is going to be a powerhouse in mono white, and I can't wait to see what you guys build with him. Let me know if you want me to build a deck with him. You know Daddy will, and I can make it expensive, beautiful, or cheap and effective. Just let me know. I'm really enjoying seeing Gandalf here. And for blue, we have Storm of Saruman. 4 blue. It's an enchantment with Ward 3. They don't like that hexproof anymore. No siree, Bob. So they got Ward 3, which nothing to shake a fist at. It's hard to kill enchantments anyways. It says whenever you cast your second spell each turn, copy it, except the copy isn't legendary. You may choose new targets for the copy, and a copy of a permanent spell becomes a token. So this is just mono blue good stuff here. Blue already works at instant speed anyways, has a lot of instants and sorceries anyways. So maybe you pop off your first little do-nothing burger like a brainstorm, ponder, or whatever, just to get it out, and then you cast your Jin Cataxis. Who knows? Maybe you cast your Hullbreaker Horror. Who knows? You just cast anything. Your Mycosynth Lattice, now you got 2 of them. Why do you need 2 of them? Who cares? Shut up. It's really cool. We love artifacts, and I'll try and push artifacts into anything. Maybe you want 2 Urzas. I don't know. You do with this as you will. I would love to see this in a mono blue deck, in a 5-color good stuff deck. Blue-red Storm, really nice. Blue-green, just, well, stop playing blue-green. It's just cheating. But Storm of Saruman basically is going to go into anything and make it better. Sure, I know it's not CEDH playable. 6 mana is a lot for basically a do-nothing for a turn, but regardless, I'm not talking about CEDH. CEDH is boring. It's all already made. No one can do anything about it anyways. But if you're just trying to have fun with your friends, play a big spell that's going to make them really hate you, Storm of Saruman's the way to go. Moving into black, we have Shadow of the Enemy. 3 black for a sorcery. Exile all creature cards from target player's graveyard. You may cast spells from among those cards for as long as they remain exiled, and mana of any type can be spent to cast them. Okay, look at this. This is a sorcery. This isn't an enchantment. It's not an artifact. It's nothing that you have to worry about. You just cast it one and done. They can't do anything about it anymore. All their creatures that were in their graveyards, maybe they're playing a graveyard strategy. Maybe it's just been a long game and they fill the graveyard. You see a bunch of nice, tasty creatures you want to take advantage of. Well, you already had 6 mana there anyways, and black's real easy to make big mana. Urborg and Cabal Coffers. What's that? Cabal Stronghold. Crypt Ghast. Gosh. There's a few others too, but you know what I'm saying. So you got a mono black deck. That's the only thing I'd really see this in. It's heavy in black, so you don't really want to try and splash any other colors. And once you cast this thing, you're golden. You're golden. You can take all of their creatures and just shit them out on your side, get your stuff done. Really just use your opponent's stuff to your advantage. It's great for a mono black deck. It's a great mono black card that I can't wait to see enter the format. Beautiful. You love to see it. Love to see nice sorceries like this take over the game and really just make them focus around what you're going to do with their creatures. And there's one thing that just feels so satisfying, and that's using your opponent's cards against them. Mono black, you did it again. You mad lads. You made a beautiful card that daddies have proven. Now, moving on to red, we have Display of Power. It's an instant for 1 red. And it says this spell can't be copied. Boo-hoo, who cares? Because look what it does. Copy any number of target instant or sorcery spells. You may choose new targets for the copies. Well, red's went and done it again. It's got its own version of a counter spell here. You know, when the stack starts getting big, you got your Increasing Vengeance, you got your Reverberate, you got your red Elemental Blast, your Pyroblast, you got all those cards. You got Tibolt's Trickery in your deck, and you're looking to make sure that what you do doesn't get stopped. Well, it's time to display your power. This card right here does all of that and more. Not only will it copy their counter spells, so now you're countering whatever they're trying to counter, but it's also going to be doubling your instant and or sorcery that you were trying to deal anyways. They thought they had you beat. They thought you had you licked. You know, they countered your big Fireball. They countered your big Comet Storm. They countered whatever the hell you wanted to cast. Well, too bad, baby, because you're now doubling it. This is beautiful. Stack gets huge. You've just been waiting, biding your time. Now you're copying everything on the stack. How are you going to get past that? How are you going to beat it? You're not. You're going to cry. You're going to be sad. Display of Power makes you mad. Great card. Beautiful for red. Red really needed something like this. I'm glad to see it. You love to see it. Now for green, our final color, we have Last March of the Ents. 6 green for a sorcery that says this spell can't be countered. Draw cards equal to the greatest toughness among creatures you control. Then put any number of creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield. Well, let's look at it. You're playing mono green, right? It's usually just big dumb stompy. We all know it. We are all used to it. And we just all have to respect it. Big green stompy's here to stay with this card. Last March of the Ents. You got a big Gult out. I don't know. Gigantosaurus, or maybe you have a big, whatever that elf's name, Elf Mama. She's got a bunch of +1/+1 counters. You're already making a bajillion mana anyways. You cast this card. You're going to draw 12. You're going to draw 15. You're going to draw whatever, 27. Who cares? Whatever you manage to do, you're doing it. And then you're going to put any number of creature cards from your hand on the battlefield. You're already playing big dumb stompy. And now, look at you. You're destroying them. Say you have like a 2/2 out and you cast this for 8, but you have 2 really huge creatures in your hand. Maybe they would have cost you about 12, 14 mana or something. You just cheated that. You cheated their mana cost for 8. You can put out your Crater Hoof. You put out, what's that? Apex Devastator. You can put out that little ram that pretends to be Craterhoof. He's great, boys. Make sure you play him. This card's going to end games. All 5 of these cards really are going to end games on their own. Some like Gandalf here, he's going to force the game around him. Storm of Saruman over here. That card's just going to get you a lot of value. Shadow of the Enemy is going to warp the game around it. Display of Powers, just going to take the big stack, make it yours. And Last March of the Ents is just going to close it out. Maybe you have a Concordant Crossroads out, so now all these creatures that you're just shitting out are just going to bop in, do some big damage. Love to see it. Beautiful cards. Glad to see them in the format. Thanks, Wizards. Very cool. Dick Whetti out.